What's up everyone? My name is Alexis. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'll be doing a 6-month in review of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. And I'm also going to go through a list of advantages and drawbacks of having a foldable smartphone and using it as your daily driver. The Galaxy Z Fold 4 was the first foldable I ever had, so I was really excited when I first got it, since it was something completely different from your standard everyday phone. I was always skeptical about foldable phones, and so I wanted to see how it holds up compared to a flagship smartphone like an iPhone 14 Pro or a Galaxy S22 Ultra. And at this point, since I've been using the phone for about 6 months now, I'm way past the honeymoon phase, and so I feel like I can have a more realistic view of what it's like to use a foldable phone every day. And I'll be using the Galaxy S22 Ultra as a point of comparison just because that's the phone that I was using before the Galaxy Z Fold 4. So now I'll go through a list of advantages and drawbacks of having a foldable smartphone. So the first advantage of the Z Fold 4 is obviously going to be the large display. And honestly, the main reason for getting the phone is going to be to have the large display. The large screen allows you to comfortably view or read anything on the go, and it feels like a mini tablet. And it's really convenient if you want to see something on a bigger screen, but you don't necessarily want to carry around a tablet or a computer. And really, this is going to be what the phone does best. It's going to be the inside screen. And yeah, whenever I watch a movie or a YouTube video on this phone, I always make sure to watch it on the inside screen to get the best experience. The next advantage of the Z Fold 4 is multitasking and split apps. The Z Fold 4 can do up to 3 apps at the same time, although typically I would find myself using 2 apps. And so I found it really useful when I had my Notion on one side and the Google Calendar on the other side. Also for like notes, if you have like a YouTube video that you need to take notes on, you can have the YouTube video playing on one side and then your Samsung Notes on the other side. It's really convenient to be able to have 2 apps running at the same time. That way you don't have to be switching between apps. So yeah, you can do up to 3, but typically I would only find myself using 2 at most. The next advantage of the Fold 4 is flex mode. So flex mode is what Samsung calls it when your phone is halfway closed but not fully closed. And what that does is that it changes the way that the app looks to better fit the screen. So for example, when you're watching a YouTube video and you put your phone in flex mode, you'll have one half of the screen playing a YouTube video while the other half of the screen has like the video description or the comments. Not every app is going to support flex mode, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's really cool when it does support it. So I didn't really use flex mode that much, but there is a really good use case for it, and that's going to be in the camera app. So if you need to record something on your phone but you don't have a tripod on you, you can put your phone in flex mode and you can actually record yourself without needing any extra equipment. So if you record a lot of video on the go, it's definitely a cool feature to have. And for the next advantage, I would have to say it's going to be the fingerprint scanner on the power button. This is just going to be mostly a personal preference, but I really like having the fingerprint sensor on the power button just because when you're taking the phone out of your pocket, you can unlock it while you're taking your phone out of your pocket, and it's just a little bit more convenient than having the fingerprint scanner on the screen. I feel like having the physical sensor is going to be a little bit faster just because you can unlock it while taking it out of your pocket and the screen doesn't have to be powered on. You can and it unlocks. And now I'll be discussing a couple of the drawbacks of having a foldable smartphone as your daily driver. So number 1 is going to be the battery life. So the battery life is not bad, but it's not great either. Even with normal day use, I would go from 100% down to maybe 20 or 25% by the end of the day. So it's definitely something that needs to be improved, and I think that over time it will be improved. It's just right now it's not great. So for example, like if you're doing a lot of things that are really intensive like video editing, you definitely want to bring a charger because that will drain your battery. And especially if you're using the inside screen, the battery will drain even faster. Another drawback to the Fold is the S Pen. So the Fold does actually have its own version of the S Pen, but it's going to be very different from the S Pen on the S22 Ultra or even the S23 Ultra. I didn't really find myself using the pen that much just because I was afraid of damaging the inside screen. I know that Samsung did specifically design it for the Fold, but I just didn't really want to take any chances on damaging the inside screen just because it is a bit of an expensive phone. And it wasn't as seamless as on the Ultra or even on the Samsung tablets. I think that there's a lot more room for improvement when it comes to the S Pen, Also, since the Fold is kind of bulky, to be carrying around an extra pen, it's just another thing that you have to worry about. And so that's another reason why I think it's kind of a drawback at this time. And then the next drawback to using a foldable phone is app optimization. So pretty much every app looks good on the outside screen, but it's more so going to be the inside screen that some apps are going to look a little weird. So for example, like Reddit looks normal on the outside screen, but then once you unfold the phone and try to see Reddit, the app looks all stretched out. Not every app is going to be optimized for the inside screen, so that's just something that you have to deal with. I do think that it'll improve over time. It's just right now, not every app is going to support it. So I think that as more and more companies release their own foldable smartphones, that the apps will slowly start getting optimized for foldable phones. And then finally, for the last drawback, I think it's kind of a common theme throughout the video, which is just the durability of the phone. So the build quality of the phone is great. It's just I felt like I had to be really careful with the phone, and it's really different from using a regular phone. So I just felt like I had to be really careful with it. And it does have some water resistance and some dust resistance, but since there's so many moving parts, I just didn't want to take that chance. So whenever it'd be like raining, or if there's any dirt around, or even it's like sand, you don't want to be around that with this phone, because I've seen some horror stories online of people getting sand or dirt in the hinge or dropping it, and it's just a whole ordeal. So if you do have this phone, you definitely want to have insurance, just so you don't have to worry about that. So after going through a few of the advantages and the drawbacks, you might be asking yourself, well, are you going to stick with the foldable, or are you going to go back to a regular smartphone? So I was using the Fold as my daily driver, but I recently switched back over to my S22 Ultra as my daily driver, and honestly, I'm liking it a lot better, just because I wanted to have that peace of mind that if I drop my phone or if I'm around water, I'm not going to have any issues. While the Fold 4 does have really good build quality, and like going back to the whole durability thing, or I just feel like a regular phone is going to be a lot more durable, especially flagship smartphones like the S22 Ultra or even like an iPhone 14 Pro Max. You don't really have to worry about dropping it or getting damaged either through water or dust. So I just wanted to have that peace of mind and go back to a regular smartphone. In conclusion, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 definitely has its use cases, but it's still new technology, obviously, and they're still working on improving it. I think maybe it will still take a couple more generations to improve, but at this point, I think I'm gonna stick with a regular smartphone. But anyways, I'd be curious to hear what you think. Have you used the Fold 4 before? Do you like foldable smartphones? Have you ever used one? Are you planning on getting one? Did you switch back to a regular phone, or did you switch from a regular phone to a foldable? So I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments, and let me know what you disagree on, what you agree on. And if you have any video suggestions or recommendations, also feel free to let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next video.